we had the luxury that we were like, we were just a bunch of, derelicts. So we weren't like in college or like had like these great jobs. And I mean, to be fair, we were also young kids, we're teenagers still. So we're like running around being wild. We were a different, we were from a different, ilk. But
you
we didn't have to make that choice because we were like, I mean, I had jobs.
Right.
Then I'd be like, you want to go to Europe or you want to stay and like shovel that, pile of dirt right there?
Right.
I'm going to Europe.
Yeah. You kind of have to
no-brainer.
hope that nobody else in the band has like this crazy stroke of luck. Because realistically, if one of them hits the lottery, they might not be going on the next tour.
Yeah. Fuck you and your van.
But if you hit the lottery, you're still going on tour, right?
You know what? I would.
Right.
I don't think I would do it, to the extent that I do it now. Like I wouldn't like. I would probably be way more selective about it.
Right.
If I had like
$1 million pops up in your bank account tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm not. And yeah, I'm not going to be. But I still need the outlet.
Right.
Yeah, I still, I'm this is part of who I am.
Right.
So I would still want to have that outlet, and I'm sure, and I think people would still want to hear from our band.
Right.
I would hope. So yeah, I would do it, but I would just be like super selective about it if I had like financial comfort.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that position, man. For me, this is like I got to work to eat.
Yeah.
Feed my family.
Definitely. But is there a drain associated with it when, you're playing, I don't know what your like primary markets are, but like I'm sure there's American cities that you've played 100 times in your life. And is it ever, I don't know, sometimes when I've been on the road for a long period of time and you're just kind of hitting these cities over and over, it just feels kind of weird. Like, man, this is, to most people, traveling is so exciting. And to me, this has just become unbelievably routine. Yeah,
it can be. It can be, and it can be, and especially being a hardcore band, man, because it's very hit or miss, especially in the States. Europe is more consistency.
Because you're such a rarity when you do pop up there, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, by now we've planted our flag there. Like, that like almost became like a second home for us. But even still, like, it's consistent. Like, you can play in the middle of nowhere and the club will be packed.
Right.
That's not the case in the States. You can have one night where you play a packed club. You can have the next night where you're in the middle of wherever and you're playing the like. So that part kind of can wear on you as you get older.
Right.
Because when you're a kid, you're like, whatever. There were 10 people here tonight. So what? I'm just, I'm young. I'm just, it'll be a better show tomorrow. Wherever we land tomorrow.
Right.
As you get older and you've been doing this now, 20, 30 years, you're like, man, I'm coming all the way out here to play to like this many people. Like,
it's got to kind of hurt when that happens.
I'm like, man, just call me when the festivals, want us. You know what I mean? It's like you get those kind of moments where you're just like, what am I doing? But you have so much invested in this.
Right.
Like, so many years. It's like, it's not something I could just walk away from. It's like, I don't have like a bunch of other revenue streams. I got other things that I do. I got a production company. I got other little things that I merch thing that I do. But like, Madball's still the main source. So it's like, I can't just like drop it. And I don't want to just stop doing it because I do enjoy, the feeling I get from doing it.
Right.
But yeah, it can get hard sometimes out there, in some of these areas, some of these pockets.
Really? So like if you guys do an American tour, how long is it going to last and how many markets would you hit?
I mean, we've been like weekend warriors lately.
Okay.
Just because coming back from all the craziness that was going on.
Right.
We've just been doing like, I don't know, maybe like a week max, but we've been hitting a lot of areas, East Coast over here, Texas run, Cali run like we're doing now, just all Cali, 5-6 shows, so like, and that's great because I can get back to my family. I do it like that. I get back home, everybody goes back home to their fam.
How old are your kids at this point?
My son's 11, my daughter's 6.
Great, okay.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a time that you want to miss out on too much of if you don't have to.
No, I don't. And that's, that changed how we operate too. When we started, having families and all that, like that changed kind of like the length of the tours and like just we did become more selective, but you can only be so selective, you know, if you need to make money.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I try to balance it, man, because I mean, I can take month-long tours. I you know, I get offered, you know, a month over here, 2 months over there. I'm not doing that.
Really?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Unless it's like an extremely, you know, great opportunity that like will give our band more like visibility and like pay well, then I'd have to consider it.
Are you kids like very sad when you got to leave?
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
Yep. It sucks. Basically, when we, you know, started our family, it got harder and harder to leave. Yeah.
Honestly,
And even for my wife, when me and my wife first got together, just leaving her was a bummer. You know,
imagine they had never invented FaceTime.
right?
Well, now they have Zoom and all these other things.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like that is one thing when I'm on FaceTime with my kid and my girl for a half hour when we're apart, it's like this is a situation where technology has made my life clearly better because it might not have been the same as being in the same room as them, but it might have been 30% as good. It was definitely the emotional connection with my kid and my girl that I needed in this moment, you know?
Yeah, you need to look at their eyes and yeah, for sure.
When you get
man.
that good connection, when
Yeah.
you're both on good Wi-Fi,
Yep,
and it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking worst when you're not and it's just cutting out.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love the fact that we have that, you know, technology now that I have kids, you know? Yeah, but it's still not the same as being with them and like hanging with them and doing all the stuff you do with them. But, you know, we make it work, man. I brought them to Europe, you know, like my daughter was in Europe when she was like a year and a half.
Right.
And my son was, you know, a little baby too, but like, you know, it was fun, but it was hard. I think now if I do that again, it'll be a lot better, a lot easier because they're older and they're like, you know, like they're 11 and 6, you know, and they're like, they're chilling. You know?
Bring them to the shows and stuff. Do they see what you do?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done some state stuff with me,
Right.
like longer tours.
Because Toby's all about that. He's got his kid fully in it.
Well, Max plays in H2O, so
Crazy,
like, he's in there.
He's fully indoctrinated them into this shit.
Yeah, fully. Shout out to Max, my little nephew, man.
Super sick. Yeah.
Good kid, man. Good kid. And good drummer, man. He's killing it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that was just sort of like Moon always did like merch for H2O, like his wife. So like that with them, it was always kind of built in. You know, for me, I don't bring my family on every little thing I do because honestly, I can't afford it.
Right.
But if it's like a longer thing, you know, I try to budget it out and like, hey, if I can afford to bring them, I'll do it. That just makes it easier on them. I mean, and honestly on me, man, it's like kind of selfish too because then like I don't have to worry about them. I know they're like at the hotel or they're wherever, you know, like they're nearby.
Right.
So that's the ideal thing, you know, but, you know, we're not in the position where we can always afford that.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.